let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we're doing a micro to macro deep dive into what is arguably one of the most profound texts in all of Vedantic philosophy, the Mandukya Upanishad. We're actually only going to look at the very first verse. I know, it sounds super short, but trust me, it packs an absolute philosophical punch. It literally attempts to explain the entire nature of reality in just a few lines. To help guide us through this, we're going to lean on the ancient scholarly groundwork laid down by the legendary philosopher Adi Shankaracharya. In his famous commentary, he made it very clear that this text isn't just some beautiful poem. No, it's a definitive, highly structured map to actual spiritual realization. Here's the roadmap for today. Number 1, the Sanskrit quote. Number 2, a word-by-word breakdown. And number 3, a simple language explanation. Section 1, the Sanskrit quote. Okay, so here is the absolute origin of our entire deep dive today. This is the original Devanagari script of verse 1, just waiting to be unlocked. It's honestly beautiful to look at, but to really feel its power, we have to know how it sounds. So here's the phonetic transliteration. Let's read it aloud together and kind of feel that resonance before we start picking it apart. It reads like this. Om ityetalaksharam idam sarvam tasyo bhavyakyanam bhutam bhavad bhavishyad iti sarvam omkara eva yatschanyat trikalatitam tadapi omkara eva. Section 2, word-by-word breakdown, which is a traditional method known as Padapatha. All right, so let's take that intimidating Sanskrit and break it down to its mechanical roots. The crucial starting point is that first phrase. Om iti etad aksharam literally translates to, thus, this syllable om is imperishable. But philosophically, om isn't just a sound you make at the end of a yoga class. It's the ultimate symbol of changeless reality. Then we add idam sarvam, which means is all this. That means literally everything currently available to our senses, the entire physical universe sitting right in front of us, is essentially nothing but om. As the verse goes on, we get the real explanation. Tasya upavyakyanam means the clear explanation begins. Then, bhutam bhabad bhavishyad iti covers the past, the present, and the future. And sarvam omkara eva tells us everything is verily om. The philosophical payload here is absolutely massive, guys. It means all dimensions of the physical, time-bound universe, every single sequence of experience you've ever had or ever will have, are just expressions of om. And then it brings it all home in the final line. Yat cha yat trikalatitam means, and whatever transcends the 3 periods of time. Followed by tat api omkara eva. That too is only om. This is pointing to the unmanifested state, the pure silence before creation even happened, the reality that exists completely beyond the very concept of time itself. Even that is totally encompassed by om. Section 3, simple language explanation. Now, you might be looking at all this and thinking, wait, how can one single sound mean literally everything? How can one tiny syllable possibly hold the past, the present, the future, and whatever exists entirely outside of time? Well, the answer lies in the fourfold nature of the self, which maps perfectly onto the phonetic sounds of A, U, M, and the deep silence that follows it. You know how modern science tells us that all matter is just vibrating energy? Well, Vedic science uses Om to symbolize that exact vibrating consciousness. A represents our waking state, U represents our dream state, M represents our deep sleep state, and that profound silence right after the chant, that represents Turiya, the transcendent fourth state. Think about it like this. You have the waker, which is consciousness turned completely outward, experiencing the physical, everyday world. Then you have the dreamer, that's consciousness turned inward, experiencing a subtle world made up of thoughts and memories. And then there's the sleeper, formless consciousness experiencing limitless bliss, but totally wrapped in a veil of ignorance. But here's the kicker. At the absolute center of all 3 of those shifting, changing states is the one limitless self. The self doesn't change. Only the state changes. To really grasp why this matters in our actual day-to-day lives, let's look at the classic Vedantic analogy of the twilight misapprehension. Picture a thirsty traveler walking up to a well at twilight. In the dim light, she spots a coiled shape and completely panics, mistaking a harmless piece of well rope for a deadly snake. She freezes. Her heart is pounding. She's experiencing very real terror, imagining she's going to get bitten. But then an old man walks by and shines a lantern on it. Instantly, the snake vanishes. Because, of course, it was always just a rope. The snake represents our limited, fearful ego, causing all this completely unnecessary suffering. The rope is our true, limitless self. So, bringing this back to verse 1, we're essentially comparing the snake to the rope. The snake is the shifting, anxiety-inducing illusion of past, present, and future. It's all that stress about what happened yesterday and what might happen tomorrow. But the rope? That's trickle-atitum. It's the changeless reality that totally transcends time altogether. When we identify with our time-bound bodies and minds, we suffer. Just like the traveler, terrified of a snake that isn't there. But the moment we realize our true nature is the timeless Om, all that fear just vanishes. As author James Swartz puts it, by equating the limitless I, consciousness, with the world, we come to understand the world by inquiring into the self. That's really the ultimate goal of this explainer, to give you a shortcut. Honestly, analyzing the entire physical universe is impossible, right? Every new scientific discovery just reveals more things we don't know. But by equating that limitless I, your consciousness, with the entire world, we get a shortcut to understanding the cosmos simply by turning inward. It's like if you want to understand the ocean, you don't need to drink the whole thing. You just need to deeply, fundamentally understand a single drop of water. So I'm going to leave you with one final, kind of provocative thought to chew on as you continue your own journey of self-discovery. If the past, the present, the future, and literally everything beyond the concept of time itself is just the vibrating energy of Om, who is the silent witness observing all of it? Who is the I that is listening to me right now? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.